All right. I don't know why the mic is muted. Yeah, right. Trying to come up, but Leona, your camera and stuff not connecting. You probably need to go out. There you go. All right. So you want me to keep playing it?
I can hear it, but then it keeps stopping.
Oh, I just stopped it. I'm gonna start playing it back.
Okay, okay.
When y'all want me to pause it, or if y'all just wanted to play through, y'all just let me know.
Okay.
Leona done fell off again. Leona, you probably need to go out and come back in.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was stating before. We're letting men be men. So it's what a man is a leader. What a man is a protector. I mean, men are so much, but that's the main role is to lead. Is to That's why men are more logical because they can think more clearly than me that go off sometimes off emotion. So in order for us to work, women have to step back and let men lead. And we need leadership. So that's what has to be done. But in order for women to let men lead, women are going to have to give the black men the benefit of the doubt like they can and they want to, and not be scared to let them.
I don't know about this benefit of the doubt shit she talking. Let me stop.
So then your point. So then you would say yes, a black patriarchy would benefit black women. That is to say, a system that gives men the ground and the freedom to lead and to build and to create institutions and to create essentially a system that would benefit black communities. That would also mean that maybe, and that may also mean that women maybe don't have as much agency, as much rights, as much freedoms in that moment. But you think that would be helpful overall for repairing the black man?
Yeah, absolutely. So even with that, I definitely think that child support system needs to be changed because women have obviously more power over that. You can use the children against you. So those are things that needs to be changed. I think the no fault divorce is something that was detrimental because it gives us more access, if not more than then now when we can afford it now. As then you couldn't, and you had to go through a longer process to get out of your relationship. So again, it's letting men lead also goes in besides the house, but also things legally with child support, with marriage, and things like that. So it all plays a role in it and with male leadership.
Okay. So you mentioned you think, child support obviously has been bad, no fault divorce, different things institutionally that have happened to negatively impact not only just families in America in general, but black families in particular. You would be in favor of those things being reversed. You would also be in favor of a black patriarchy that would give more rights and give more freedom to men to establish and build a system that would allow women to essentially ration, right? Or basically allow women to collaborate in a way where masculine and feminine is more balanced. Absolutely. Okay. I did. Okay. Yeah, that I kind of appreciate you for saying that because you'll be hard pressed to hear a woman, I think, actually on that. It's the point I had a conversation a few days ago where, okay, these are divestors, so I know divestors usually coming back, in my opinion, or my experience, they usually always coming back. Uh, but they're essentially were preaching for a black patriarchy, which is why they were saying they were divesting because there wasn't one. But that's what they were essentially saying they wanted, but then they would never say they wanted a black patriarchy. Because I'm like, for those women who don't like black men, having black men be in charge, having some, I don't want to say somewhat of a dictatorship, but having a black man be an authoritarian, if you have fear of black men and if you have uh basically believe these ideas that men are inherently bad, black men in particular are inherently bad or violent or whatever, you're not going to be happy with their authority. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes women will talk out of both sides of the mouth. They'll say that black men are oppressive and they're this, and that, but they need to build. And it's
Right.
like, hey, well, if you want them to build, are you going to give them the leeway and the power? And then are you going to help support them build? What are you willing to do to now help create a system where they can do that and you not get away. So that's where sometimes these arguments start to kind of disintegrate. You really get the nitty gritty.
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense. It's I want you to leave, but I want equality while you leave. So you want all the responsibility, but you also want to get to take half of everything that they have built and done.
Hey, GM.
Take credit for it. So that doesn't make sense at all. So no, I'm definitely not. I want you to lead it all.
Right.
Okay. Lead in a home. And I have 3 brothers. So I have seen a lot that men go through by the eyes of being raised by brothers.
Okay.
I get how the court system favors women and how my brother had to work 10 times harder, spend 10 times as much money, have the best lawyer to have custody of his 2 boys. So I've seen that. I've seen women take their child away from their father just because of how they feel and how that child is neglected because of that, and that's not love. So I've been there and I've seen it as far as the men. That's why I have complete empathy towards men. So as far as the leadership, a lot of things have to change for them to have their rightful role back in the community.
And would you say that that role was taken away by the rightful role was taken away by women, by the institution, by both? It was a collaboration. What do you think improved the role that Black men have had in the Bible?
That's a great question. I think, I guess if we're talking about child support and parents getting custody, that change is, of course, with the feminist movement. And was it women were free?
We are watching Support Black Patriarchy ! With I am Courtney Michelle on Shed Sade panel. It's a little clip she put up. I wanted to watch it. Watching it with some of the other ladies that's up here on the panel. You know what I'm saying? And then, we might discuss it because we done been through a myriad of topics today. And yeah.
So I'm gonna have to say, it was women that changed the narrative on how we are right now because we wanted more control. We wanted to be equal as men, but not knowing that we're not able to take care of all those responsibility of leadership. And that's why I think a lot of our community is failing because we have women leading the community and there's no real great community that has been led by women. That's a man's role. And he needs to do his role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you would say largely the large, I guess, push that Black women made towards feminism, really after the civil rights era, really helped what drives this divide that we now see the ramifications of today. That they were really seeing it full force.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff has happened, but that's one major thing. So that's one major thing, I think. And it was creating a system that women felt like we did not need men and that we could do the exact same thing as men. So I think our mentality is I don't need you, I want you. I can take care of all the bills. I can raise the kids by myself. I can do all this by myself. But not knowing that just because you're able to take care of your rent, now we're seeing that the eviction rate is higher among Black men. So obviously you can't maintain. And now we're seeing there's a lot of mental issues that we have. It's just so you can't. And so that's manifesting in things when you're out of order.
Well, all right then.
Pretty much what we said earlier in one voice.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like I agree with what they're saying to a certain extent. Especially with Black folks. Because I'm not finna sit up here and pretend like I got 2 cousins in Generation X that and these would be my mother's first cousins.
Mhm.
Both of them bitches killed, dead, their husband.
Damn.
And they not locked up. And the reason why they ain't locked up is because there was a track record of them being abused by these men.
Right.
And they killed them. And I know like one of the talking points in the Black manosphere is, oh, the violence level or physical violence level went up in, I think they say, the 60s amongst Black women. Well, with rights come the right to fight back.
Yeah, and if the laws, well, let me say, police and stuff ain't gonna never show up, never come to aid, what more you gonna do? You gonna have to defend yourself, huh?
You got to defend yourself.
Yep.
And it's like, we want to have these discussions, but we don't want to talk to it clearly. And, she said, in order to establish a patriarchy, you got to give the men the benefit of the doubt. Why somebody got to give you the benefit of the doubt if there isn't a history there that is remembered?
And that's the point.
Because, see, I'm all for, like, good mother is saying, just blame the radical lesbian feminists for me, okay? And she right. The radical lesbian feminists don't help the situation between the people that ain't radical and lesbian. They
That
don't.
part.
They complicate shit. They fearmonger. They just make shit worse when it don't have to be. And so I have a problem with those type of people because they take away from the conversations that actually need to happen. Cause I'm not finna sit up here. I don't think just listening to a lot of these men talk, I would never tell a woman to go get in the house with him. He is dangerous. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. If you value yourself and you value your life, you better stay away from him. And there ain't no conversation. When you say they need to be in power, they need to leave, and she say stuff like, it was a slip when she said dictatorship. But if you sit and you listen to some of these men speak, that's exactly what they want. Now, where in history has anybody been happy with a dictator?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. But people don't want to have holistic conversations. They want to have one-sided conversations. I'm not here for the one-sided conversation shit. One-sided conversations don't do nothing but create another problem down the line. How about we have honest conversations? Feminism is a problem. Radical, crazy ass bitches are a problem. And we already know what that is. They don't want to submit to nobody's authority. They want to go out here and fuck up and make a man be responsible for fixing everything that they fuck up. Like that's what the fuck their job is. And it is not. And it is asinine and crazy that this is what they believe. But this is what they believe. Yeah, they're crazy as hell. But at the same time, what about the women that are being mistreated by men? Who's advocating for them?
Nobody.
And I'm not willing to tell those women, oh, you just need to get in the benefit of the doubt. No, if you feel like you safe and you need to do it, because let's just be real about it. I done heard the conversations about how somebody grandpa was going upside their grandma's head. He going upside her head. She got to work. He not helping. And I hear these men say it all the time. Like I sat in a discussion and I was watching these men talk and they were saying shit like, right now we have a South authoritarian dictatorship currently. So I was listening to these men talk and they saying shit like, oh, how hard is it to swing a broom? What? That's what you think taking care of a home is? You sitting up here talking about you want traditional women back. You want women to be at home and real children. And you think the extent of her job is nothing but swinging a broom. And that's not hard. What makes you think a woman finna sign up for that shit with your fucked up attitude?
That.
If that's your attitude, what makes her want to do that? What makes her feel safe and protected if that's your attitude? Because what your attitude say is you're gonna devalue me simply because you think what you do is more important than what I do. And if we see what's happening now, we got children outside with the pistol play. You know what I'm saying? You got schools that's having to try and make up for the deficits in what children ain't getting at home because nobody's home to properly rear the children. So if you were to say, okay, put the men back in power, and once again, you got men with the attitude that women are not valuable or important, where you think we gonna end up? But that's not a conversation that people are having. They having this conversation like men have always been benevolent to women, and that's not fucking true. You know, I'm not gonna say all the men was horrible and they all trying to kill us. Nah, that's crazy. That's nonsense. But let's not act like there have not been instances as to why, if everything is going good in your world, in your universe, there is no way some weirdo on the outside can come and tell you, oh, everything you believe and you think going on in your shit is it's fucked up and it's wrong. Get rid of it. Who does that if they in a happy position?
Nobody.
So something was going on to even take those that may have been on the middle, in the fence. Something was happening to make them jump over to the other side. And don't nobody want to talk about that? That's why I can't get jiggy with the bullshit. Because if you want to change some shit, you have to have a holistic conversation. I like to think of myself as being pretty level-headed and sitting up here listening to some of the conversations that be happening online amongst these men. Nigga, there is no way I would submit to whatever authority you think you got.
Well, I said that too with you, that something made them go to the other side.
Yeah.
A lot of them just got so destroyed that I feel like they hate men. That's how deep they hate men. You know?
Yeah, some of these women crazy. Some of these women ain't never even wanted to be with no man. Some of like when I look at say feminism, when I looked at feminism, I seen 3 different versions of feminism. And in these extreme crazy ass bitches, they sound like they was nuts. Okay. One of them, you know, women didn't have the right to vote. This bitch said she gonna vote. She was gonna vote Ulysses S. Grant into office. That bitch meant that shit. She meant that shit so bad she was willing to go to jail. Do you? They locked her ass up for trying to sneak into the polls to vote. Yeah. And you know, now you look at it, you got these damn women, girl. They look like if they could have created themselves to be men, that's what they would have been. Okay. And they sitting up here saying all this crazy stuff. Then you got these women that's out of line. And usually it's women that done made poor decisions with their body. You know what I'm saying? And don't want to admit, take any accountability for the decisions that they've made. Hold on. The men you are talking about are the compensatory type because they have no control. They are going. No, the men I'm talking about is some weak son of a bitches that need their ass whooped by other men, and the other men are not correcting their raggedy ass. And that's the tea. You want me to put this one up? Future? You want me? Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that. It's too many of these dudes. I done sat in these spaces for too long.
Come on, man.
And done encounter, and the men that actually will correct these men, they're ridiculed and not listened to.
Right.
You know. Fuck that shit. I ain't making no excuses for me. There is no making excuses for people that are supposed to be leaders. Leaders don't get excuses made for them because leaders are the ones that's supposed to make sure everything is copacetic. I'm not making excuses for nobody that's supposed to lead. I'm sorry. You don't get those type of luxuries as a leader. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Well, the men that will historically sort them out are white, but when they do, they call them racist. I mean, everybody got their lot in life, and I said it last night when I was on here snapping because I'm tired of people in they stupid shit. Like I'm over here in my own world, in my own bubble, expressing my own opinion wherever the fuck I go. And if you don't want me in your space expressing my opinion, just say so and I'll leave. Cause I'm kind of respectful like that. But even with me being respectful, it's people that are threatened by my presence and they doing weird shit like I can't see them. And guess what? The only people that actually showed up in the chat happen to be white men. Happen to be white men that have never made any sexual references toward me. Happen to be white men that have never cussed me out and that I've never had to cuss out. You know what I'm saying? And all the other men that feel some kind of way about me saying that they probably should talk to those men, oh the fuck well, because none of you other good melanated motherfuckers have shown yourselves to be that. It's only one other man that has come over and had a conversation with me that was melanated, okay, that's been able to have a sensible conversation that didn't sound like some shit that I need to tell a woman to run away from. I'm not telling no women to put themselves in a position that may be harmful just to protect some motherfucking weird ass man's fucking pride and ego and something wrong with him. These people is crazy. Uh-oh. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I had a busy day.
I bet.
I heard some stories today too that are really interesting. Some people I want to interview later.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've met some cool folks.
Oh, that's good.
But so catch me up on what you're talking about because I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I just heard you say the people that aren't acting like crazy bitches are white men.
Yeah, so far what I've encountered, the other dude, it's only one other man that has come over here and actually had a discussion with me that wasn't white.
Yeah.
Everybody else, what they do is they sit back from the bushes and they don't come into the chat. I've also seen that they're unable to have conversations with the white men, which I think is weird as hell.
Right.
Because I'll sit there and I can talk to white women.
Yeah.
And I can talk to Asian women. And I can talk to I can talk to a crazy bitch if she can have a conversation. So
how often does that happen though?
Yeah, it ain't often that they can do that. But for the ones that can, I can do that. And I'm like, these men can't have conversations with each other. And I'm gonna tell you something, they do better because let me say, I go to a lot of different places on YouTube, just like this morning. Bandit came over. Bandit has to be the most open-minded, open-hearted person I have ever met.
Genuine. He's genuinely a good person.
Every time I feature another channel and I say, go over there and support the channel, not only does he go over there and support the channel, he gets in the chat and he has conversations with them. And
because he's legitimately trying to help.
Yeah, and I often find out that it's not just that one time he goes over there. Sometimes he ends up becoming a regular over there in those particular spaces. Yeah. And I'm just like, But with some of these good melanated folk, if I say, hey, go over here and listen to this conversation that these people having, they can't do that. They absolutely refuse. Well, what
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
hell is wrong with you?
they
What's the
racist.
problem? Yeah.
they're racist. Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
yeah. How you doing, Jim? Y'all, I
But
just got in the car.
hello, future Texas therapist. Okay. You are a hairstylist also.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I heard you up talking to Sunkissed when Miss Elite was over there. Yeah,
Yep.
good stuff. Good to meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are racist.
they
But
are racist.
They
But
are,
I
but
would-
we have a
I
hard
always-
time to accept that as our melanated people, as you call it. I call
right,
it.
You call it
right.
what? You call it what?
She
I said,
calls them
as you
out.
I call them out. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay.
Or is the wind too loud?
No. Y'all just talked at the same time, and I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was saying I call them out because, like, I've been noticing that too on a lot of these streams where you can have a different, race of a person come in and they just hound and bully and dog people. And I just be like, and it hurt my feelings because I be like, man, you wouldn't want nobody to do you like that. And so it's like
Right.
we overtly do it back. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching a little white gentleman. He was the the drummers for the bands in the colleges. What are they called? The band leaders.
Yeah.
Oh, the drum
Either
major.
which way. Yeah, he was a drum major girl for HBCU, and he was out there getting it, and it was just so funny to me. But you had people, being ugly on the stream, talking about him, and I'm like, he's still at a university. He's really doing better than anybody else because he's in an environment where he knows he's probably not as culturally dancing wise on with his peers.
Right.
That's hard. You know what I'm saying? And y'all sitting up here bullying him, and he leading a whole university band. Come on, y'all. We gotta do better.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit is so weird. Like they always sit up here and talk about we can't get into their institutions and all of this shit here, and then you see a white person going to HBUs and shit and being proud of the fact that they graduated from an HBU, and then here come all these
dancing his butt off.
Yeah, and here come all these weird ass black. We can't have nothing, and they wait a minute. First, they don't appreciate your culture and they don't like you. And somebody comes and gets square center in your environment, like you can't get no better than that. You want to know what it is to be black in America? Take your white ass to a HBCU and you be the chocolate chip in the room. Okay. Now they went and voluntarily put themselves in that type of situation, and you still got something to complain about?
Yeah. Well, because they're segregationists. They want segregation. Yeah. Because they're fucking racist.
They're racist. It just is what it is, and we are racist, and we sometimes can be the worst ones because we feel that we have a assertive personality or behavior or whatever the case might be. It's like comes off as bullying, man, and that's not cool. That is not cool.
It is
and
bullying.
I call them out with it. It is bullying though. Yeah, I can't even say.
And then
you're right, Sunkissed.
To a certain extent, it's almost as if it's cultural because we think like we grow up thinking shit like playing the dozens is normal behavior.
Right. Well, but who's teaching you that? Who's fundamentally teaching these things?
Yeah, I don't know. I got that shit from school, honestly.
Right?
Like my family didn't play the dozens. Like we didn't sit around. We played dominoes.
Right.
Even when it comes down to the colorist, that too.
Yeah,
when it comes down to that colorist stuff, a lot of that I didn't grow up like that, and now all of a sudden it's being reportrayed, and it's coming from us. I have so far yet I cut white people hair as a hairstylist, and I haven't had nobody yet just really be ugly and derogatory to me. Now, my people, oh yeah, baby, I done been called all type of seedlings and everything because I'm a little dark chocolate little person, you know.
Right.
But I ain't had them encounters, and when I say that, then people getting their feelings, but it's the truth. Y'all have been the most ugliest people to me.
We nasty to each other. That's why, like for instance, not to be picking on Bandit, but Bandit just such a great example. Bandit really don't understand why he be getting talked to a certain way, and I'm just like, you got to understand that this ain't even just because you white. We abusive toward each other, okay? It's a cultural thing. Like something wrong with us. Like we need therapy.
But who perpetuates culture? I mean, you have predominantly like where these kids are coming from. It's predominantly the mothers that teach it, and then what they don't get from home, they get at school. So the symbiotic relationship there. I mean, it's university indoctrinate. I blame universities fundamentally. I mean, son, you said, you heard it mostly from school. I mean, your mom wasn't a feminist. She didn't raise you like that, right?
Well, that's why I don't think she was a feminist by, definition or nothing like that. But my mama thought she could do shit like fight men. So, something was wrong with her.
Right. But somehow you broke a cycle.
Cause that shit crazy. I'm not finna fight no man, sir.
Right.
No. Right. Sir, I'm not finna fight you. What's wrong with you?
Right.
But she had her issues or whatever that was, cause she didn't, the way she behaved, that's not how she was raised, as far as I know. So I don't know what she had going on, but to say it comes from universities, well, I can't do nothing but believe it because I didn't take certain classes. Right. But I have friends that are currently going through school and certain friends in certain fields that went through and they talk to me about all they little, this studies and that studies, and they talk about how they feel about certain things. And I even have clients that are like lawyers and have occupations in communications and stuff like that. And they talk about some of the classes that they took and how it made them feel and all this stuff they learn, and I can see how it shapes their worldview. And I mean, I'm like, the world got problems, but not to the degree that you seeing it. Like you sound crazy, and it's coming from the universities, I suppose, because I can't say that because that's not the education that I got. But I'm not going to pay you to teach me to hate the world.
Right.
It's enough of that. Plus, I read them. I read them little. I do feel like that if you're not going into that particular field, then you shouldn't be allowed to take those classes.
Right. Well, I don't think any of that ideological bullshit should be taught in any classes because it's literal brainwashing and it's emotional terrorism is what it is.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of glad that I came back to college at the age that I am, because I'm set in my ways in a sense, so they can't indoctrinate me no more. So versus like the younger ones that are in class with me up at the college, to them this is like, whoa, this is it. It's set in stone. This is multicultural. This is non-binary. And you're like, no. That's not what that means.
Right.
It's crazy to see some of the younger people, especially these younger folks. You see them say stuff like, "Oh, I'm glad y'all opening my eyes to." And open your eyes to what? This ain't true. What's wrong with you? Well,
Right.
this is what I'm like. If y'all don't stop telling these young people this
Right.
foolishness, these is y'all warped issues all by yourself, and you are putting on the younger generations your foolishness because like the world is not as crazy. No, it's y'all crazy. By you and
Mhm.
stop telling these young people that this is what's going on. And it's
Right.
sad to the point where you see if you sit down and have conversations with the younger generation, these people that's in their 20s and stuff, talking about they don't want to bring children into the world because it's so fucked up. When we gonna examine ourselves as the older
Yeah.
generations? Because if and it ain't even just the
That's it
financial.
right there.
Yeah, and it's not just the financial aspect. It is they watching how we treat each other, and they like, oh hell no, want no parts of
Right.
that. I don't
I told
understand
you how
how
my
we.
son said. Ew.
Well, how old is your son? Texas therapist.
He's in 6th grade, and I was telling her that
Okay.
earlier when he was listening with me with one of my streams, and they start arguing. He was like, "I don't want to be like that,"
Right.
and we grown, so it's like for a kid to say that we
Yeah.
should be ashamed of ourselves because he don't see
Right.
that, you know.
Right. Well, and it's like what? Who's setting the example here? You know? I mean, for kids to be able to see that and be like, yeah, I don't want any part of that. That means those kids are smarter than those grown ass adults.
Yes, they are smarter than us, and it's sad that in
Yes.
them being
Yes.
smarter than us, they decided we need to end humanity. You know,
No. See? That's
That-
terrible.
that is terrible.
Jill
And I'm
said,
like,
Right?
"No, see."
No. Well, because our kids are gonna have to be the ones ending it, and that's a big burden to put on fucking kids, man. Like we screwed it up, and now we got to let the younger generations fix it. That doesn't seem right.
that's the way it be.
Well, it still
It's
doesn't
been
seem
like
right.
that for at least 100 years.
Yeah, but it's not right.
It's not. It's not. We
No.
supposed to. They supposed to be standing on the things that we building to continue to build, and
Right.
with each generation, it just seems to just get worse and
Yeah.
worse
Yeah.
and worse. And I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
now
Because they're building on the dysfunction and destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're
ridiculous.
gonna do what we do. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
sad because I
It is
actually
sad.
do talk to the younger generation because I know, look, we can talk all this noise. Look, in the next 10 years, we not running shit. They're running everything.
Right.
We just in here to we the employees in their world, okay? And
Right.
I want to know where they headed because and they talking about, oh no, hell no, we not doing none of this. We not doing no, we're not gonna participate. And I'm like, if you got a large group of them saying that they not gonna participate, and a large group of them that can't even function, like the amount of them that's running around here talking about, oh, I can't get a job, I can't take care of myself because I have this, that, and the third.
Right.
And it's like, oh, so did you talk to somebody about? Oh no, so you self-diagnose yourself, and then I look at my generation and some of the older generations, and you listening to them speak, and it's like, hey, did you talk to somebody? I don't need to talk to nobody. Yeah, you mean? Yes, you do.
Right. Yeah. Appeal to authority. You will see, and that's what people don't understand hierarchy anymore. And it's so weird. Like, I mean, and I know you're the same exact way I am, son, where it's like, okay, I'm not going to bullshit and try to pretend I know some shit. If I don't know, I'm going to find out. Like, I'm going to ask somebody who knows. Like, not just assume we fucking know everything, because we don't. We might be good in one little sector, but there's so many different sectors that we have no clue. So we go seek advice from people who know more than we do, right?
Yes.
Yeah, people don't do that. They just assume they fucking know everything.
It's so funny because
repeating the same same information
pie
from somebody else.
arguments and all of that. And I
Yeah.
was like, especially in these spaces, I'm like, okay, you got a bunch of women that's sitting around talking, saying all this crazy shit. And I'm like, how many of y'all got successful relationships? And it ain't very many of them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So all y'all just blowing smoke up each other's ass.
Right.
Okay, cool. Then you go over here and look at the men and they sitting in their circles and they saying they shit. And I'm like, well, how many of y'all got successful how many of y'all even got married? Because y'all the leaders and shit.
Right.
Nobody.
At least tried to do the right thing.
No, never did. They ain't do none of that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, let me keep searching. And it took a long time. And I finally found some people that, did what, we would think is the right thing to do for society. And I'm listening to them talk. So, you take their talking points over here to these people and they like ridicule them. And I'm like, wait a minute. wait, this is functional and this is right. And you want to talk, you supposed to go ask them for advice. No, you don't ask them for the advice. You talk noise to them and you talk about them and you ridicule them while you complain about the pile of shit that you sitting in.
Right.
I don't understand.
Right.
What is happening?
I don't know. It's appeal to authority to fix what I fucked up, but don't listen to said authority so you understand how you got there in the first place. It's just fix it for me. It's very childish, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense. Because when I want to learn something, I'm not going to somebody that's in the same situation with me. I'm going to that'll be like when I reupholstered those chairs. I went and found somebody that owned an upholstery business.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the lady next door and be like, do you know how I could fix this shit?
Right?
That's good that you said that. That's what I say about this whole therapy kick. A lot of us out here dealing with our own traumas, triggers, PTSD, vivid exposures, all the whole 9 yards. Gender dysphoria. And we talking to each other that's dealing with the same seasonal depression, anxiety, bipolar. So where you gonna get at when we both got mental issues,
Texas therapists, if you guys stop being so damn racist, you can ask people that might know, even if they're white.
Yep. That part.
Yeah.
I know, because the first thing I tell, our people is that they wonder why the mental health is up high is because we don't do like our white counterparts. They go get help. They go to counseling, therapy.
Right.
Even if they don't think it works after 6 weeks or how many sessions, they still have attempted, and that's how they're able to get it on paper instead of self-diagnosing themselves like everybody walk around here and just say, I got anxiety. And I'm like, okay, so what level? Are you moderate? Are you severe? What's your diagnosis? Did you get it from the DSM-5? Did you see us licensed, chemical dependent counselor? What? No.
Right.
So how you know you got anxiety?
Well, I mean, if they feel anxious, it's kind of one of those things. Right.
I did a Google search. Google told me
Right. Right.
But that's what I'm saying. But then it could be
Yeah.
just a situation for then. You know, you could have not known your anxiety went up because you're gonna do a speech. But there you go say it every day.
Right.
I got anxiety. I got
It's environmental. It's not a constant state of being. It's environment. So why aren't we looking at more the environment instead of saying, okay,
exactly.
there's something wrong with this person on the inside.
Mhm.
Let's go there and fix it. When that person could be very okay in a different fucking environment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's where feminists fucked up. They overran the universities and they made it all about, you know, the person, and then the pharmaceutical company got in there and, oh, let's, you know, do this. It's a chemical imbalance due to something wrong with the body, disregarding the environmental impact on the body, because that's a thing. That's yeah. I'm just glad the past 10 years or so, there's been so much more done on the epigenetic level. But we need to get the women the fuck out of the way that are causing the problems. Because a lot of these women are causing the problems and then blaming it on somebody else.
You know what? I feel like if more people go get therapy, they can get rid of them. I really feel like that.
But you have to have a therapist that's going to be honest with you. And a lot of these feminists are liars.
Well, I feel like this.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to some dudes, I was in a chat, and they was talking about their experience with, you know, therapists. And one guy was like, I felt like, you know, I was like a specimen under a microscope, and she was just sitting there looking and feeding off of my pain or some weird shit like that.
Yes.
And
No,
I said,
but that's true, that we have a lot of these feminists that are so sadistic that they get off on fucking poking at wounds of men. That's like the feminists. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm not saying
Mm.
that doesn't exist, but I'm saying if more people go seek therapy and you got a therapist that make you feel like that and you start complaining, eventually she's going to be blackballed. Ain't nobody gonna hire her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but you got to go get the help, because as long as nobody's going to get help and nobody's reporting people that do this, then they gonna keep running amok like they are.
Yeah.
You got to go get help, you know, and then the men got to know, especially with the men, you got to know every therapist ain't gonna, you might not mesh well with every therapist you come in contact with. But if you go and you sit in their office and they make you feel like they getting off on, you need to tell it and get the hell on.
Well, but there's really no safe space for men to express their feelings like that in our culture.
Yeah, she got a boss. At the end of the day, that she is employed and somebody signs her check. You better tell on her, just like you would call the manager at the restaurant. You better call the manager at the clinic. Excuse me, something is wrong with that therapist. Okay.
But that's been stigmatized as to being a Karen thing. Women do that. Women appeal to authority. Men usually just move on.
Yeah, because they're out here in Texas, is what by law we can't.
Uh-oh. Do you hear?
She might have fell out. She'll be back. But yeah, I know that this like a Karen thing, but I don't give a damn. Call me Karen, because I didn't give a shit. I was like, wait a minute. There's something. It is something to this Karen shit. Let me figure it out.
Yeah.
And once I figured it out, oh, what? No snitching, lies, snitch, tell it all, sell souls.
Yeah.
Look, I will tell it on you. In a world where, men feel like, and it may actually be that they have to compete with women, just like they'll tell on you, you better tell on their ass too. Tell on them and do what you need to do, because all is fair in love and war. If that's what y'all feel like y'all at war, by all means, utilize all avenues to correct the issue. Like, I look, tell on her, be caring, or what they call him, Ted. What
Right.
is the counterpart to Karen? I think it's
Ken.
Ted. Ken, there you
Yeah,
go.
I can.
Be Ken. Be Ken.
Right.
Okay, be empowered. Be Ken. Like, the problem with just moving on is the women are still not being held accountable.
I
Okay.
know. I know.
And if the society is moving toward a place where women can hold leadership positions, then they need to be held accountable in those leadership positions.
Exactly. But they abdicate the responsibility, and anytime anything goes wrong, they still blame it on men. That's a feminist tactic.
Tell her
They
supervisor.
Yeah, well, these men need to be educated on on this kind of stuff, and they need to know people will have their back, because in our society men don't think that anything will happen, because nobody
Uh,
cares about men, right?
right. And I mean, it's weird because the society is changing, and it was the point where it was okay. Men didn't expect nobody to care about them because they was the people that you depended on. And it's not quite that way. It's still kind of that way, but not really that way. And it's very strange. And I can understand. It can be very frustrating to be a man in today's society, because what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I'm advocating you treat them women just like you would treat any other man, especially if she's sitting up there acting like one. Give her what she asked for, and
But
just like
but
somebody
it
with. Go ahead.
it's not in a man's nature to treat women like men.
Look, if she's sitting up, if she in a man's position, then you better look at her like she a man. Nobody got time. Look, hey, look. Some of these women, baby, look, I can't get in the mud with you. I can call the police on you just like I would a man, because you are very
Right.
masculine, ma'am, and I'm not
Right.
gonna be able to do it.
Right.
They better get over it. Things are different.
Yeah.
Treat her like the man that she thinks she is. Like, let's go like Hillary Clinton. I don't view her as a woman. That's not a woman at all. That's a whole man.
No, no,
Uh,
no. A man wouldn't have made the mistakes in government that led to that many deaths. She needs to definitely be treated like the incompetent woman that cost a lot of lives. A
yeah,
man
because
wouldn't have
if
done
there
that.
was a man that had done that, his ass would have been prosecuted.
Yeah,
She,
yeah,
she
yeah,
just walked away.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
for president again. No, bitch, go to jail.
Right, but yeah,
People got to get with the times. I understand this is the way it used to be. We don't live in that no more. Look, if
yeah,
she is gonna hold a position that was traditionally being held by men, she needs the same type of consequences that a
yeah.
man would have gotten. It don't matter that she is a woman. She is in a man's position. She needs to be treated like that. If she can't hold the same line that a man would be held to, then she don't need to be there.
Exactly. See, and that's my whole point. I'm like, fire all these fucking incompetent women because they don't belong there. For one, they can't do the same damn job. Even though they want that job, they want the notoriety of that job, they will not accept the responsibility of that job. Obviously, our society cannot hold them accountable to that job because they're women. End of story. They don't fucking belong there.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Get them the fuck out of there. That's
Yeah.
only gonna happen if men stop looking at them. Oh well, it's just a woman. Hell no, that's a motherfucker in a position. He needs to do his job. Who
But
cares
they
what's in between
can't
his
do
legs?
it. But they can't do it. They
But they
can't.
better get
It's
over it.
not in their nature. That's
Shit.
but men, like, aside from all the over emotional and mentally unstable ones that you're talking about that are super abusive, the majority of men are the kinder and more compassionate sex.
Yeah.
Like, that they give women way more leeway than women will ever fucking give men.
Yeah, they better
They
grow
show way
some
more.
tougher skin. They better get in these whole ass. Don't do it. Don't no.
But they can't.
But I think it's a program because I grew up.
Yes.
My grandmama. Let me see. My grandmama passed. I want to say probably 12 years ago. No, was my son? I don't know. Somewhere around there. And she was like close to 90 or in her 90s when she passed. So when I was a little girl, she was like, I heard girls are sugar and spice and everything nice, and boys was something about puppy tails and snails and some shit like that. I got that from my grandma. But as I grew up and I was looking at the world, I was like, these bitches are evil.
Bullshit, right? Right.
What did you talk about?
Yeah.
Sugar and spice and everything's nice. There ain't nothing nice about these women. These women they are detrimental to a woman. Will fuck you up, okay, and do it silently. And I'm like, who said sugar and spice? They lied to me because there's nothing nice about this bitch. This bitch is evil, And I think that men grow up and I always heard, women are the fairest sex and they're dainty and all of this shit. And they be the most cold-hearted, calculating, evil, women, horrible, okay? And I'm like, and I see men and the way men interact with children and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. And I thought y'all was supposed to be mean and evil. And what somebody is lying to me. And I think that, men have been programmed to believe that women are a certain way and not fully taught that no, not all women are that way. And it's unfortunate. And I'm saying, that's why I'm like, call the police, send her to jail. If she hits you, knock her ass out, cause no, if the opportunity present itself, she will harm you. Okay. And then play victim and get away with it. Cause that's what they do. Miss America VW, how you doing? Thanks, Shano, for sending folk over. I appreciate it. Do I need to drop the link in the chat? I don't know where all my guests went. They just kind of fell out. They just kind of falling off. And I probably got to go anyway, because...
Wait, am I still here?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, sorry. I'm still here.
Oh, there she's back. Hey.
Okay. Technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. I wonder what happened to you. But yeah, I think it's a program. I think men are programmed to believe that women are just these dainty species. And I think men need to consider that it's the other side to women that is very dangerous and nasty.
Yeah.
And right now, that's women ain't walking in that dainty feminine behavior. They walking in that malicious, nasty. I'm out here to get you, motherfucker. They walking in that.
Yeah. Male dominating. Yeah.
Yeah, like y'all said, was when I dropped down, it's kind of going to coincide with the cleavage kick. A certain woman will know you have big boobs, and you'll sit here and come sit in front of this man's face, knowing how you look. So that's just setting him up for failure. So that goes to us being these quote unquote therapists, y'all. You know what you're doing, and then now you want him to sit here and focus. He already probably there for infidelity and a few other things, and then here you come sitting here in his face, playing on his emotions.
Yep.
My professor, on purpose. She said she had turned down one of the Cowboys players as one of her clients because of the attraction. And I was like, see, a lot of us will have to have that type of personality, no matter how much the money's gonna be good, you know.
Yeah.
That
Well,
ain't cool.
I don't think men should be going to female therapists. I think it does more harm than good. They need men to go talk about these things with, and women shouldn't be going to men. Women should be going to women, and those women need to be holding those women accountable. Like,
Yeah.
it's that simple. Unfortunately, with the policies and diversity, inclusion, equity bullshit and all this shit that's available for women, and it's a safety net for women, women outnumber men in that field like 90-1, or like 90% women, right? If not higher.
Yeah, because most of the men that was in my class were going towards more drug abuse counseling. There, you know, on that spectrum.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go to no woman therapy, because I sat in a couple of therapy sessions with some other women that were seeing women therapists, and accountability my ass. You be like, oh my God, you're such a victim. I'm like, if you don't tell this bitch the truth so she don't end up in this situation again, I'm just a mean, hateful friend that drove her ass up here to get help, and you ain't helping, ma'am. What the hell is you doing? Oh, you're such a victim. The best therapy I ever got was from a man. I'm just like, oh, is that right, sir? Well, thank you for telling me that. Let me put that in my pocket, and I'll take it with me all my life.
But
I don't know. These women crazy.
But you're not the majority. You know
that's
that.
That's what I keep hearing.
You're a fucking unicorn. I know. I keep telling you that you're not like the rest.
You can play your basketball.
What's up, Shano?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like some of these women ain't got no business being no therapists, because they ain't trying to tell these women. Because ain't no way in the world, if you got a situation where you seeing society fall apart and you seeing more and more children falling by the wayside, that you don't put together that these children need their fathers. And ain't none of the therapists sitting up here saying, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to make better womb decisions. You know, them type of conversations not happening. Y'all's the therapist. Y'all supposed to be them that this ain't right.
But son, you're talking about battling against my body, my choice.
Yeah, your body, your choice, and when you know what, I'm happy. I'm glad that the police have decided that they don't want to be the police no more, and I'm glad that they got to live amongst the children that they have created. I'm happy. That's what you get. Okay, so when the children that you created that you didn't need no man for start whooping on your ass and terrorizing you, because see they forget that they're going to get old. And them children is still gonna be young, and they ain't raised them to be shit. So now they gonna be up in they over your old ass, stealing your shit, taking your car, mistreating the fuck out of you, and you can't call 911 because there is no 911. Y'all created all of this, and I'm glad that you're gonna deal with it.
Right.
Yes, I'm happy for you. You enjoy all of it, but the therapist. You see this is going on. You see they are basically contributing to their own, hardship. You're not going to have a conversation with them and tell them to do better?
No. They don't see that. They see a victim because of what the narrative is and the programming and the brainwashing. They see a victim that's been victimized by men because that's all they know how to see. That's what the perception is. That's what they've been trained to observe. They don't look at things the way you look at things.
Yeah, they need to. They need to start examining.
Well, no shit.
Yeah,
but they don't.
You can't.
That's why they need to be fired.
It doesn't make sense to me, because first of all, the men have their roles in society and what they think and all of that, and men close your ears. You might not like what's about to come out of my mouth, but I need the women to understand some things. This is not to negate y'all. I need the women to understand some things though. In my mind, in my world, I ain't never met a man that didn't come out of a vagina.
Right.
And
Right.
I be damned if something that came out of me fits to oppress and abuse me. Is you crazy? What is y'all talking about? How is you victims of something you birthed?
Right?
It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
As a woman, how do you sit up here and say, "Oh my God, it's destroying me"? What? How you birth some shit to destroy you? What's wrong with you?
Right.
Who raised you?
Right. A crazy bitch. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. No.
Men are so horrible. They're horrible. They horrible. But somehow you're unable to not procreate with horrible. I don't understand.
Right.
I be like, okay, so they horrible and he horrible. He's horrible. So you were raped. Well, no.
See?
You wasn't raped. So you willingly got in the sheets. Well, yeah, because you willingly got in the sheets with horrible, and now you want to tell me that you were a victim of some shit you was willing to participate, ma'am. No, nonsense, nonsense.
Right.
I don't understand. I don't want to hear this. I keep hearing all this. Like earlier, we was talking, and it came up. You know, some of the women, they have sons, and one lady was asking, you know, how does she communicate to her son that he has to go to his father because, you know, your daddy got stuff to teach you that I cannot. So you need to go, you know, and I'm just like, yes, see him to his daddy. He needs to go to his daddy. You are absolutely correct. And then there are some women that, I can't send them to. What do you mean? You know what? Unless, you know, he like one of these dudes that's going to pick your child up and use him as a shield while he out there playing pistol games. Don't send your child to that. But if he live in a one bedroom shack with a hole in the roof, okay, and that's what, send that baby over there to learn whatever it is he needs to learn from his father. And by the time you send him over there, he got good sense enough to know if he is in total danger, he'll let you know to come get him. But other than that, they need their fathers, no matter how shitty you think he is as a man or a person. That's their damn daddy. He has a right to be in the child's life.
Yes, he does.
You cannot expect these men to live up to your standard. If you want them to live up to your standard, then your standard should have been, before I procreate for you, you need to create a family with me. But you didn't have that standard, so you don't have no say-so in how that man live his life. Let him raise his child. These boys and even these girls need their daddy. Now, I'm not saying pack your daughter up and send them to their daddy, because, you know, they need to learn the things of womanhood, and he gonna be able, but she still need a relationship with her daddy. You know, you can't do it out. I'm the mama and the daddy. No, you the damn fool is what you is.
I don't even shop for my son. His daddy bought everything. Socks, boxers. I don't know. Because I don't know what dress. I can do the basics, but to have, you know, little drawers y'all wearing stuff, you know.
Hello, Amelia Wolf. Thanks for dropping by. Wait, did I say that right? Amelia Wolf. If I messed up your name, I apologize. Hey, Kenyatta. She said the best therapist she had was a white man. And he was a white Southerner at that. Bam, he was great.
Yeah.
Proud, toxic male, right? Yeah. JR, drink your whiskey
He's so serious.
Yeah. By the way, hello, JR. I can't type in the chat, so
I'm playing
Shano
some.
say it's our women's fault.
it is.
He been
It's
saying it's our
women's
women.
fault. See, I agree with Chop, because who's not being held accountable? Who are you
Yep.
not allowed to speak out against?
Let's go, GM. Let's go.
Yeah, Chop. See, he knows.
Shano been gone on. We said that already.
Yeah, Shano been talking about this women's fault for the last 2 hours. He been
See?
dropping in and out of the chat talking about it's women's fault. And then he came in talking about it's Sun Kid's fault. Chop, I fight you.
Well, I wouldn't say Sun, because she's one of the very few women online that will hold women accountable.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that. That shit be crazy. How you gonna sit up here and participate in nonsense and then say, I'm a victim of the nonsense I participated in? No, you a willing participant. You ignorant bitch.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's called a volunteer.
Like what? And then like some of the stuff women say don't make no sense. Like I don't understand how you have, especially the ones that be having like a ridiculous number of baby daddies, and don't none of them help.
Ooh, child. I don't even like people enough to do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how dumb are you? Like how many times did it take you to realize, and you probably still didn't realize, you just ain't got pregnant again with your dumb ass.
Right.
How many times do it take you to realize that it's a particular type of person that ain't gonna help you raise no child, and you keep doing it? You go get the same type of dude in a different skin. But then some of these women do that shit on purpose. Cause that lady, it's a video called Baby Mama Math. And that woman was saying why she got 6 different baby daddies, because her child support will total up to about $2,000 a month. And I was like, what?
And that's stupid. And that's stupid because then even if you get that one that can't get it because he's so sorry that you can't get nothing? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I ain't gonna never forget this. I was this when my Facebook was popping, and there was this one chick, and she was like trying to drag her baby daddy. Let me tell y'all how sorry he is. He's so sorry. We went to court and the judge ordered him to pay $25 a month in child support. You know how sorry you got to be for a judge to order you to only pay $25 a month? And you know, of course, she got the peanut gallery all in the comments. Girl, yeah, he this and he that. And I'm sitting over there looking at the shit like, wait a minute. If the judge said that he only needed to pay $25 a month, that means that before a judge even got involved, all he had was $25 a month. Bitch, he couldn't even take you to McDonald's. So I got under the comments and I said, so that means your pussy is worth less than $25 a month. And that bitch got angry at me. And I was like, but that's what you said though. Did you not say that?
What's she at?
Yeah. She totally said it. She even had a court order say it for her. Yeah. She has it on paper.
She got mad at me, and I'm like, man,
I'll give 40.
You just sat up here and told the whole world that your twat is worth less than $25 a month. I said, and then I said, you so stupid that you even.
Where's she at?
Oh, I don't know. I said, you so dumb. You didn't even you went and had a baby for the dude. You had a baby with somebody that, girl, a pack of Pampers is more than $25, ma'am. He can't even buy no diapers for the baby. And you want to sit up here and tell everybody else how sorry he is. How sorry is you to have a baby with this man? You had no thought about what type of father your child was going to have in his life, did you?
I said it's all the women's fault. I said that.
Because I don't even like child support. I ain't gonna put now one on it. I'm not gonna do it.
Because ultimately, in that situation between those two people, who was in control of the sex? Let's be honest.
It had to be her.
It was her.
The woman always gonna be in control.
Yep. And that
the
is
man
the person
gonna always want the pussy.
Right.
Cheeks.
I always want to clap the cheeks. Ma'am, what I don't understand. I do not understand. Like, I don't understand how you have an oops baby.
Irresponsibility.
And that's period.
And probably she thought she could probably trap him somehow.
Yeah, it be that be going on too. That does happen.
Have y'all ever seen that show Ray Donovan?
What's that?
That's the one that had Angelina Jolie daddy and Lee, I think his name is Levi something, the actor. He married to Naomi, the one that played in The Ring. Anywho, he showed that in his show how they be trapping them, and I was so astonished at it. Some women do a whole plot.
Yeah.
Keep the condom. They freeze the stuff. I was like, oh my God.
That's why when I be sitting up here having conversations and I be talking about these men, I be telling them, look, if you use the condom, take it off, tie it up, put it in your pockets, and discard it way away from her.
Damn.
Okay? Don't trust these hoes. Okay?
Right.
That's why I don't be fucking a bunch of females like that, because I don't like using condoms.
Oh?
Yeah, please keep your sperm to yourself.
Yeah.
Because once you drop your sperm, and I be trying to tell these men, especially with the way that society is set up right now, once you drop your sperm in her, you don't got no more say so on what happened to it. It's hers. It belongs to her.
Hey,
and I wish
turn
Leah
your
did
like
have
thing
rights.
off so people can see your like button. I mean your likes. How many likes you got? That's people want to see that.
It's in the settings somewhere.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the settings. You want to see people see. You want to let people know how many likes you got. I mean, that's all a part of the platform.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Just figure it out. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. But yeah, they just, I don't know. It is weird. I be like, I don't understand how y'all doing the stuff that y'all doing. And a lot of women, why it's always on the woman? Cause you the one gonna give birth, bitch. What you talking about?
Yeah. We bear the greatest burden of responsibility. It should be. I mean, women don't sleep with men unless they want to, unless they're physically forced. And men, that happens so very rarely. Yeah. What usually happens is a woman is trying to get something out of a man, and it backfires. Like she thinks getting pregnant will do something, like where she'll have control over him, and then when it backfires, she blames him for her maliciousness.
Yeah, and I be like, yo, y'all dudes, I can't tell y'all enough. Keep your sperm out of. If you looking at her as just a cum receptacle, kind of like y'all do with socks. If that's how you regard her, she just got flesh and blood. Don't put your sperm in her. Don't do it.
Yeah, it'll stop if the men could have rights at the beginning of birth. If he can like block it and do anything, I bet a lot of women wouldn't do it. I'm telling you.
Right.
If they can, if
they can get a financial abortion.
Yeah.
Women would stop doing that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I've heard some women just be downright ugly and say, I don't care if he do want it. I'm still gonna go ahead and, abort or give it up. And it's like, but he want it. Like he want his kid. That's his too. So why would you do that?
I remember this Reddit post with this dude. This dude got the girl pregnant, and the girl wanted to have an abortion. And he was like, I want this baby. And she said to him, she said, all right, I'll have this baby, but I'm telling you, I ain't gonna have nothing to do with it because I don't want it. And he was like, oh, that's fine. I just want the baby. So she went through with the pregnancy, and when the baby was born, she hey Lucine, she didn't hold the baby. She didn't look at the baby. They took the baby, and when they came to bring her the baby, she told them to give that baby to the daddy.
Yeah.
And she got out of the hospital, and she went and put herself on child support. And she didn't send no pictures. She don't go pick that baby up or nothing. And that man was like, she don't do nothing, and I'm a single parent by myself. And I just thought she would, if she was to have the baby, her maternal instinct would kick in, and she don't do nothing. No, sir. She told you she didn't want no baby.
Right.
And this what I be trying to get these women to understand, because some of these women ain't got no business with no children. Okay. And some of these women are under the impression that just because they women and they can give birth that they have to be mothers. No, hell, you ain't got no business, man. Tell him to come get that baby, and if he don't want to come get that baby, you go drop that baby off to his ass, because he's just as much the parent as you.
Yep.
Go get that baby to their daddy, because y'all ain't had no business. It's a lot of children that'll be a bit more with, and just like some of these women, it takes for them to get pregnant, for them to grow up. The same thing can happen for these men, because once they see them little eyes looking at them and depending on them, they'll straighten their ass up.
Yep, they sure will.
Give them the opportunity, especially if you know some women ain't got a motherly instinct in them for shit. They just biologically got it. Okay. They ain't got no business, and it's okay. And you need, that needs to be destigmatized, because you got a lot of women fighting to hold on to children because they worried about being looked at as less than or shitty in society. Because what kind of woman don't want to raise your child? One that knows she gonna fuck it up.
Yep.
Well, those crazy bitches should keep their legs closed then.
Well, you know, I ain't even trying to fight that war no more. That's a whole nother. You tell people to stop fucking, and they act like the world gonna end. I was like, you know what? Let me stop preaching that message, because
we need to keep on fucking.
Yeah.
We just need to keep fucking. We just need to fuck the right, like men need to fuck the right females, and women need to fuck them for the right men.
These are facts.
Yeah.
People need to have more discretion about who they're sleeping with and what they got going on. And really, if you don't see these people as a viable person to create a family with, quit procreating. Shit.
Right.
Hey, God, dog, you can have sex and not procreate. It's possible.
Yeah,
it is very possible.
But that takes responsibility and forethought. A lot of these instant gratification types don't have that capability.
Crazy.
No, they don't.
Crazy.
They just horny.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I don't know. Something needs to happen, but I get tired of folks. Oh my God, this and that, and yo, all y'all can shut up, okay? Everybody can just be quiet.
The men need to start fucking the women more, and the women need to start fucking the men more. It releases a lot more stress. You know what I'm saying? Because women are our balance. Period. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just you need to start paying more attention of what type of women we are dating. You know what I'm saying? Paying attention to the red flags, like we just got through talking about this a minute ago. You know, we need to start paying more attention to the red flags, and knowing what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You
gotta know what you're dealing with. Women, you gotta know what type of man you're dealing with. Pay attention and don't just fall in love with his money because he's able to do this and do that, and I guess he might look half-ass good or whatever. I mean, that's because he has capabilities and all this shit doesn't mean that he loves you. He might can buy you this, can buy you that, but is he gonna stay with you? You know, a lot of women say they wish they had a man that had a man to do this and do that. You had that man already. You just don't know how to keep him. And he probably didn't want you.
Them facts.
Let's be real. You know, I mean, 9 times out of 10, listen, these women that had the man that can do these things, you just what the problem is, you wasn't taught to know how to keep that man because 9 times out of 10, you was raised by a single parent yourself.
Or didn't know how to value it.
Especially in the Black community, most of the kids are raised as single parents. We don't know how to be in a relationship because most of us was raised by single parents. I mean, in it right there.
Yeah, I could say that that's a percent of it, because half of the Black community on the other spectrum did see unity and marriage, you know, and then you have an era that just went to a wayside, you know, and why? Because I feel that it's environment and what they looking into. You know, a lot of people want what they seen their mothers or grandfathers and all of them have, but just don't know how, like you said, to keep it. That's partially some of the issue too. Because I know my whole family's married, but me and my first cousins, we're not. So somewhere in the generation, it broke. You see what I'm saying? My grandmama 91. My grandfather, if he was here 5 years later, he'd be 97 right now. All 9 kids together here in Dallas. So, but me and my first cousins aren't. So what happened?
Right.
And most of us have one baby father or our kids with the same person. We didn't, so we still tried to keep it there, but somewhere we didn't know how to run a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, it's sad, but hey.
Yeah, there's a lot of external factors though that we deal with that they never had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I mean, social media wasn't a thing.
So you have to talk to people up front. So like saying, getting to know somebody, like you got to know so-and-so that has a nickname. You need to learn their real name first. That's some of the issue too. Some of these broads, as I call them, they don't even know they baby daddy's real name because you started out knowing them as Lil Ray Ray. You know what I'm saying? So that starts there. And then you never got to meet his mama or his environment where he was raised. So you didn't get to probably see how he treated his mama. You see what I'm saying? So that tells something. On and on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? And we don't normally do that. And that generation, they had no choice to do it because they didn't have social media. So they had to know each other out of high school, seeing each other at the store, at the little phone booth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a different connection versus us. We getting this instant gratification of feeling like, okay, this is what pretty look like. This is what the relationship should look like. Oh, it's a lot of pretty colors and flowers on the post and they look happy. I want mine like this.
Right.
And that's not what that is. You
fantasy.
Know? And so once we get out of that and accept my relationship for what I have and accept my man for who he is and don't put nobody on the pedestal of what it should be, then that's where we go from there. But everybody wanted higher expectation. I want you to be muscled up. You want me to be shaped up, this, on and so forth. And that's not the point. You know what I mean? Your soulmate is personality, behavior, character, morals. You know, we've lost a lot of that stuff. And that's just what that is. I don't see men come up to me no more and be respectful. They come up to me instantly saying, "What's up, pretty black? Dog, you got a big old butt. Oh, you cute, little mama." Where's the respect? Where the respect at? So now I'm still staring at society where you like, okay, y'all rude to me. But then when I see some of my clients over in the Highland Park area, some of them little old schools still get out their car and open the door for their little wife before they come in and get their haircut for me. I pay attention to those little things. We go hop out the car and walk with each other. That's not how a relationship goes. If he want to lead me to the door, open the door, and make sure I get in the business. You hear me? But I don't see that. I don't.
We don't. We don't. And it's crazy. That's why I'm like, as far as these conversations between the dynamics of what's supposed to happen between men and women, it's not enough conversation as far as I can say, black folks go as far as men knowing how to treat women. And when you got a large group that didn't have no fathers, no uncles, no nothing, because we got a lot of families that's full of women. It's just full of women.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't had no man around. These are the conversations that they should be having, because you sitting up here screaming and hollering about how the women need to submit and all of these things, but women need certain things to feel secure enough to feel like you that leader that you say you are. And y'all, you sitting up here is talking about some dominating type of conversation. No, she don't feel safe trying to submit to you. You sound crazy.
Right. Respectable patriarchy.
Right.
That.
Yeah, they be saying stuff like this and talking. They just don't want to submit. They need to run from you. You need a therapist. Therapist. What you mean therapist? Yo,
They are a therapist.
Like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all crazy. It's a twofold thing, and people not having well-rounded or even honest discussions. Everybody seems to come to the table with an agenda and not really there to really listen to each other, and that is a problem.
Yeah.
By the way,
everybody jump on bandwagon.
Hey, Harley.
Oh, that's her son Kiss. That's the one that's getting married. How you doing,
Yeah.
sweetheart?
I'm doing all right. I've been sick the past couple days.
Oh, what's wrong?
We say,
I don't know. I can't go into the doctor until tomorrow, so.
Hey, put me on top. Don't put me by her.
When we said, "Ooh," we would have thought she by us.
Well,
That's
I'm
funny.
glad actually Harley's up here because I need to go. I need to figure out what I'm doing next.
Okay.
And I enjoyed talking to you though, Texas therapist.
Likewise, sweetie.
Yeah, I wanna
Y'all
connect with you later and talk to you maybe about your story and why you're not a crazy bitch. That would be cool.
Listen, because I'm just as crazy, so I know two crazies don't mix. We all gonna be in a behavior clinic somewhere.
Right. Okay, son, it was good chatting with you.
It was.
I'll touch base with you later. I got some things to tell you. Harley, it was good to see you shortly.
You having fun?
No.
Yeah. It is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Already. Well, have fun and we'll catch up.
Okay. And Chalk, will you blame all the crazy bitches while I'm gone? Just blame it all on women, okay?
I sure will. You already know.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
You too.
All righty. Okay, show how many viewers like this video. I found it. Good Lord.